Hi there, podcast and public radio fans. Heath Drusen here, host and creator of the Extremely American podcast. I'm working on season 3, which is an urgent story about neo-Nazi terrorists and how they helped build a modern white supremacist movement, even from prison. Some of their ideas have even made it to today's White House. It's both a gripping true crime story and a timely warning about threats to our democracy. And this time, my investigative reporting is funded by you. To support the project, please make a tax-deductible contribution at extremelyamerican.org. That's extremelyamerican.org. And thanks.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Samantha Wright, filling in for Jim Gaudette. This is Idaho Matters. Have you ever seen a beautiful saddle or an amazing pair of leather cowboy boots? Have you ever wondered what it takes to make that kind of art? Western women artists from around the Gem State will gather at the Sun Valley Museum of Art this month to share their craft and to keep their traditions alive. That includes painters, writers, bootmakers, saddle makers, silversmiths. The list goes on. The Idaho Cowgirl Congress brings women artists together to share and preserve their craft. Morgan Bookert is a bootmaker. She grew up around Western gear. Carrie McClooey is a leather worker. They'll both be at this year's Cowgirl Congress. And they're joining us now along with state folklorist Stephen Hatcher with the Idaho Commission on the Arts. Hi, everybody. How you doing today?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Morgan, tell us about your boots. It looks like you like to use bright colors and designs like flowers and mountain ranges. So how does living in Idaho influence what you do?
My work is representative of place, which many can see. My journey into making landscape boots started years ago, and I really focus on wildflowers and mountains of Idaho. And people come to me for my crazy designs, and I love making people's ideas become a reality.
Okay, landscape boots. That is the coolest phrase I've heard all day.
Excellent.
Okay, Carrie, how long have you been working with leather?
About 22 years.
So, not very long.
Not very long.
What do you make with the leather?
I'm mostly a shop maker.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, now for folks who are not Western, describe what chaps are.
Stephen, did you want to say something?
No, Stephen doesn't want to touch that one.
I'm the odd man out.
If you've ever watched any cowboy or cowgirl movies, they're what they wear they're like a protection. And I don't know, I'm not as graceful as you, Morgan. I really hate that I'm following you.
Think leather culottes with no back. I think would be.
Well, yeah. There's no, otherwise they'd be pants, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, Stephen, I want to get you in here. We're talking about all kinds of things at the Cowgirl Congress, including, crafts that, maybe not as common, found as common as they used to be. So why is it important to keep these kinds of crafts alive? I mean, you're the state folklorist. Give us a little insight.
Well, it's important on many levels. These days, I think the big sort of fight is to create these crafts to sort of ward off these factory-made, cheap imitation rip-offs of boots and saddles, and keep that sort of tradition alive of transmitting this tradition orally across generations, between and within the communities, rather than relying on big factories in Texas or Mexico or something like that. So it's part of a way, the folks involved in this community express themselves. It's a way to translate knowledge, as I said, and to sort of transmit cultural values.
Well, and I want to piggyback off that for both Morgan and Carrie. What you do is not easy or fast? I mean, it takes a while. How long does it take, Morgan, to make a pair of your cowboy boots?
So my boots average about 75 hours a pair. I keep track. I think it's important to track my progress. And it's very slow work, as you said, and it's very physically challenging work. And that's one of the reasons that I love it. It's really intentional and comes from the heart.
Carrie, what about chaps? How long does it take to make a pair of chaps?
I'm way more loose with my keeping track of time. But I would say most of I only make one of a kinds. And so, like a month and a half,
Wow.
probably to make a pair of chaps from drawing to finish, sometimes longer.
Morgan, we're used to seeing, really flashy cowboy boots on country singers and maybe in old movies like Roy Rogers. Are these the kind of boots that you're making? Is this kind of what we would see?
My boots are inspired by that time. I really love post World War II, the explosion of Western wear during that time, and it does come with a lot of color and flash. And I hope that I've translated that inspiration into the places I love and the things I love, and kind of modernized that.
Gotcha. Carrie, how popular are your chaps? Do you have a waiting list?
I do have a waiting list. I'm a couple years out.
Wow.
So
that's
I
popular.
do my best to keep up.
Okay, we're speaking with bootmaker Morgan Burkhardt, leather worker Carrie McCluey, and stake folklorist Stephen Hatcher with the Idaho Commission on the Arts about this year's Cowgirl Congress. It's going to kick off June 17th at the Sun Valley Museum of Art. Stephen, tell us about this year's Congress and a little bit about what happens there.
Yeah, so these we've sort of called them gear maker gatherings in general, and they've been happening for this will be the 12th year for these gear maker gatherings. But this will be the third Cowgirl Congress. So we have 4 different groups that rotate. We have a saddle maker summit, a rawhide rendezvous, a silversmith symposium. And through all those first 3, I noticed, a couple women always show up, and a lot of women that are going to be here next week. But there are always a couple women in the background, in a room sort of consumed by these, dudes, really. And so for the 4th one, we decided to separate the women and sort of highlight them on their own. So that one is sort of spans the art form from chaps and saddles and silversmiths, and there's a couple fine painters in there as well as pulled wool saddle blankets, that kind of thing.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, we get the purpose is really to build community within the state. There's an enormous amount of high quality gear makers within our state, and because the state is so big, a lot of them know each other, but they don't often have time to get together to sort of swap stories and skills and learn how to build businesses and sustain businesses, photograph their work and that sort of thing. But ultimately, it's just about building community and making connections and building relationships.
Morgan, did I see you're teaching a class on how to make a leather wallet this time around?
I am. So Sun Valley Museum of Art is hosting our public exhibition as part of the Idaho Cowgirl Congress and has created some other events to kind of build up the exhibition. And so I'll be teaching a class this Thursday, teaching a leather wallet making class. And we are sold out at this point. So we're really excited about that and are just excited to kind of create this whole experience for the community.
Is it important to pass on some of what you know how to do?
Absolutely. I think that's a super important part of what we do. Our work is passed from master to apprentice, and sharing what we do with our students as well as the community is really important in keeping these traditions alive. And so I love sharing a little bit about what we do, especially showing how difficult it is to do our work.
Oh, man. Carrie, how important is it to bring women artists together like this to the Cowgirl Congress?
I think it's super important. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to bring women artists together. I think it's super important to b
Oh, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. To tell you the truth, I guess it's great. I mean, I think it's important that we help each other out and celebrate the craft that we do. And sometimes, women, what we build is maybe significantly different than what a man makes. Like my stuff's very feminine sometimes. I think most of the time it's very colorful and so I don't know, that's basically my best answer.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Oh, I love it. Well, and Carrie, Morgan mentioned, it's this kind of thing is passed on from master to apprentice. How long did it take you to learn how to make chaps and work with the leather?
I'm still learning. I feel like every pair I make is better than the last one, and I don't. There's things I'm confident in relatively, and other times not so much. So I feel like I'm really not even done learning yet. I still will go take shop making class. Well, I've only done it once, taken a class, but I was pretty. I was pretty much well into making shaps when I took it. So, but it's, I'm always trying to learn.
And I'll second Carrie to that.
Stephen, it sounds like that's one of the important things about the Cowgirl Congress and these kinds of gatherings, so that, you can keep learning, keep sharing, keep passing on that information.
Yeah, it's true. I also run a program called the Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program, and we tend to pick up apprenticeship teams by doing this, by gathering people together. Some folks who may not know each other before get together for a weekend like this, and by the end of the weekend, they're planning a project together, and thus apply to my apprenticeship grant program. It's a real way to sort of build bridges and connect each other across the West, and mostly Idaho, but across the West too.
Wow. Morgan, you looking forward to this year's Congress?
I am really excited. I have been helping Stephen and our team work on this for almost 2 years, and it was just a real pinch me moment when our posters came last week, and we've seen it all come together. So we're really excited to celebrate and show our work to Idaho.
Wow. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming on and for sharing a little bit about the Congress and telling us about what you do.
Well, thank you so much, and we hope you make it to Ketchum next week.
Yep, come up and see us.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with bootmaker Morgan Burkhart, leatherworker Carrie McCluey, and state folklorist Stephen Hatcher with the Idaho Commission on the Arts about this year's Cowgirl Congress, which kicks off June 17th at the Sun Valley Museum of Art. Up next, it's Monday. That means it's time for our America 250 Short Histories of Boise, and we're heading to Sargent City. You can see reels from our series on our Boise State Public Radio Instagram page.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Idaho Matters. And for quick news of the day, start your mornings with our podcast. It's called The Connector, Idaho Daily News. If you're really enjoying this show, a quick rating or review on Apple or Spotify really helps other folks discover us, and we'd appreciate it.
Love Boise State Public Radio podcasts? They are free to enjoy, but not free to produce. If you can give, your support helps keep shows like Idaho Matters and Scandalize available to everyone. Donate now at boisestatepublicradio.org.